Hey guys, welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 1049 called The World That Should Be, which reflects Kaido's vision, how Kaido kind of sees the world, and we get a good little Kaido flashback in this chapter. And some stuff that moves a little quickly, and we'll get to that later. But let's just jump right into the cover page where we see Germa 66 is getting, freed, or like the book they're getting held in is getting burned up, which I guess breaks the seal and they get freed out of their prison. And the doctor looks shocked. So it's definitely an outside source. We don't know. There's speculations of other people that could be infiltrating, like Blackbeard pirates, or something from Judge's arsenal that can create fire. But I get the implication that maybe Oda is giving the sense that, oh, Judge is coming, but he might surprise us with somebody completely different. And we go right, of course, right where we left off, with Luffy punching down on Kaido, armament hockeying the biggest fist we've ever seen, punching and not making contact with Kaido because he learned the Rio, and he's what's it called? Like he's not expressing, but he's using hockey to coat himself and his fist. Well, not himself, but his fist to not let Kaido's burning. Well, it gets really close, right? It looks like it's still damaging him, but he's able to at least push Kaido off enough from his punch that he's not taking devastating damage. But Kaido saying that you've reached this point, congratulations, but you will not defeat me. And we get a nice start of what I hope is multiple chapters later on of Kaido goodness, Kaido flashback. And we see even from a little kid, he was straight savage, being a delinquent, strong as all hell. And you see him get to age, and there's timelines like 46 years ago we have this. So I'm guessing people are speculating, but with this, Kaido's 55-ish to 60 years old because of like the timeline where he's on Rock's ship, and where that's like he should have been like 16 to 19, I think. And that was 45 years ago, I think. So they're it seems that the country that Kaido was in, we don't get anything about his race, but the country that he was in was dominated by warfare because they had to go to war to pay for the world government, but they ended up trading Kaido to get a spot in the Reverie. So Kaido's obviously freaking pissed, and he ends up escaping. And we get a revelation that Kaido was captured, or he let himself get captured because he was hungry. Whenever he got really hungry, he just ended up getting captured. Treated it as a buffet, and basically escaped again. And we just get speed run after speed run. He's a kid, he's a teenager, and now he's out on Rock's crew, and then he ended up fighting Garp Loss, and now he's in Wano. Like it passed by, I feel, really quickly in this flashback. I don't feel like this is it for Kaido's flashback. So we get Kaido going into Rock's base. He infiltrates, and then you see Whitebeard there. Whitebeard mentions Rox wants to see you. We get a panel where we assume Rox is calling out to Kaido, saying we need to go to God Valley. And then we speed run past that. We speed run to another panel. Oh, they got defeated. They got defeated by a sailor named Garp, and it just feels like we're speed running his flashback here. But we see how he lands into Wano because of it. The old hag is throwing an idea to Kaido that you need weapons, you need reinforcements, and I have a plan for you. I have an idea for you. And then that's how he ends up going in Wano. But a lot of people seem dissatisfied with this because it's like, well, you keep mentioning there's a reason. There's a great reason you're in Wano. And I hope it's not because of the old hag, because this is before he realizes what later in the future, where he says, I want to be defeated by Joy Boy. There's a lot of mismatching going back and forth where he keeps saying to Yamato, there's a reason why I'm here. And then in the future he says, The person that will defeat me is Joy Boy to King. I don't know. It feels, I don't want to say rushed, but it just he has to have a different reason to be in Wano before realizing Odin wants to. Odin's waiting for Joy Boy, and he will be defeated by Joy Boy pretty much. We see the CP0 member with the mask that was defeated by Drake, ex Drake. He's actually hopping away in the air. Forgot what it was called. Skywalking away. And Yamato's telling Momo that he needs to move the island. You see the islanders, which again, they don't feel despair. This doesn't feel right. There's something missing. We get a panel of Kid. Everybody's panicking. The water's rushing in through. We get more panels of the water rushing in throughout Onigashima, putting the flames out. There is the panel of Orochi on the floor, beheaded from what we understand, and hopefully final time, beheaded, unless Oda gives Hiyori one more chance and she gets to deal the final blow. But we still see, again, Orochi's head on the ground. We assume he's finally dead after getting his 8th head cut, I believe. I don't know how many it's been now. 8, right? Unless there's one more for whatever mythical power reason, right? So Hiyori and Denjiro are, we get their conclusion, everybody else's conclusion, everybody's safe, the water put out the fire. Now we get Momo's part where he needs to devastatingly, like he's worried as all hell because the island, it's finally coming down. The island feels like it's falling, and Kaido gives, he gives away the flames. He's like, I have to put forth everything into this punch, or I'm gonna, I don't want to say defeated, right? Or I need to put everything into whatever I'm doing right now, which is facing Luffy and this punch. And he gives off any control of the island, and Momo freaks out. You see Luffy struggling, and Kaido asks him a question. What kind of world do you see? What kind of world do you want? And Luffy answers, a very Luffy-esque answer, something we would typically hear from him saying, it's a world where all my friends can eat as much as they want. Just basically what he wants to accomplish for Wano, to have them, eat to their heart's content pretty much. And in the midst of this, Momo freaks out, but he's able to conjure up the smoke clouds to wrap the island. Hooray! And he moves it real quick, or like while it was falling, he drags it to the side, and Luffy, in one eye open, gives it his all, and you see a shockwave effect onto the punch to maybe propel it more. We'll see when they animate this. Oh boy, I want to see how this is gonna look at least. But we have Kaido's at least final panels of him getting crushed under the fist and getting pushed and shockwaved away, hurling towards the ground. And it looks like he just breaks right through and he keeps going straight down. And in the midst of this huge shockwave, where again people look not happy, but they are happy because they're in the fire festival in the capital. But there's no despair. There's no realization that the Straw Hats have saved them all in this instance. But in this moment, Kaido is thinking back of who would be the one that defeats him, and King asks, "Who is this person?" And it would be Joy Boy. Joy Boy would be the person that defeats me. And well, King jokes, "Oh, that's never gonna happen then." And that's we like rereading these panels before the review. I'm thinking, is this really it for Kaido? It looks like he's kind of defeated, but people, I think, no, it's a 50-50 actually. People are saying, yeah, he's defeated, GG, or no, he's not. Luffy's, got awakening. Kaido hasn't officially awakened yet. He's missing one more thing. And I do agree, it feels like something's missing. But again, Oda's constrained by time. He does want to finish this sooner rather than later. So I'm I'm not convinced, but maybe this is truly the end of the fight, and next chapter we might get a victor, Luffy. You know, a victory plaque saying Luffy won the fight. And I'm also like, the last panel we get is Momonosuke bringing the island down with the smoke clouds. And I feel like the anime is going to definitely carry this chapter, because I feel like we could have dedicated a little more time to Momo here, like a more chapter to him bringing the island down. I know Joy Boy is bringing Joy Boy reviews says, you know, there's something with ghosts that should happen. That should, but it would be nice if it would happen, like Ghost Piece. He should be able to get something from his father while carrying this island. There's something missing, I feel, where Momonosuke at least should have had more panels dedicated to him struggling and carrying this island, bringing it down. Not as easy as he, like, as Oda made it look in these few panels. But the island's set down, and you see Luffy almost looks like he's charred to a crisp, you know, just falling. And he's gonna end up falling straight down. Maybe get caught by Yamato on the way down, so he doesn't have such an impact. But man looks done. And that's the end of the chapter. You know, speculation-wise, I don't want to say Kaido's defeated. I was reading this, and I'm almost in... It's not a moment where I'm shocked, or I'm more shocked than out of my chair, you know, in awe, just at what Luffy just did. You know, this is one of the emperors of the sea, and even if it is that Luffy won, we've gotten to this point where Luffy defeats, even with some help, an emperor of the sea. Still magnificent. It's finally happening. And on the other hand, I feel like I should have been much more like seen it coming, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, that's a pretty good chapter. So predictions for next chapter. Oh, there's so many predictions. There's so many things that could happen now, because Luffy looks done, you know. There's the world government knocking on Wano's doorstep, pretty much. Kaido looks like he's defeated, but he might get up, or he might stay down. We might get a Kaido flashback. We should get some closure to Kaido's flashback. We should have answers through Kaido's flashback on Rox's character, Garp, Roger, how he knows about some of the stuff he knows. We get a panel about Big Mom, I forgot, and maybe we get some closure on how they escaped God Valley with Big Mom's help and giving Kaido the Devil Fruit. We see that Big Mom clearly cared and was worried for Kaido in that timeline, or not timeline, in God Valley at least, because he's asking where Kaido is, and something must have occurred to Kaido where it must have been a close call. But there's so many things that could happen. But that's it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.